Right now at 5, a police chase from Illinois into Missouri ends in a fatal crash on westbound I-70 near West Florissant.
And we've got cloudy skies out there. We will eventually have some clearing later today, and the winds will increase as well. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, President Trump signs an executive order to reclassify marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Monday, December the 22nd. It is hard to believe it's here. It's practically here.
And we've talked all the time about really the day you're counting down to is Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Because that's the last day you can really get stuff done.
Yeah, if you don't have it done by what? But in most cases, like 6 o'clock Christmas Eve, it's over. It's done. You'll have to try again next year. That can be one of your New Year's resolutions to be better prepared. But
yeah, I have a whole checklist for every single day this week of like what I still need to get done, like a very tight schedule.
Well, see, that's the good news on my side. I am done. I mean, for me though, it's a lot simpler. I'm given a list of things. I go out, I buy things. I don't wrap them because I'm terrible at it, but I do bag them and then place them under the tree. And I'm set for Christmas, and hopefully you are too. And here's the deal. It's going to sneak up on you because it's going to be so warm, we're going to kind of forget it's December. Yes. I know it's not what everybody wants to hear. Like I said, I know we don't want a blizzard by any means necessarily, but we want it to feel like Christmas, and it's just not going to do that. Let's start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh. We do have those cloudy skies out there this morning, and we'll spend a good portion of our morning with cloudy skies before they eventually begin to clear heading into the afternoon. KDOT camera 69 400. Again, still looking low 171, but you can see they zoomed it out and turned it a bit, but still looking good so far. And the MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin looking good as well. So let's take a look at the numbers right now. We're sitting at 48 in Joplin, 48 in Pittsburgh. Now I want to take a moment to remind you that this is about where our average highs for this time of year should be, is into the upper 40s. Take a look around. We've still got some low 50s out there. Jay is the warm spot at 53 this morning, and the coolest we get, let's see, taking a quick look. It looks like it's 45. That's the lowest temperature I've seen. That's Stockton, Monette, and Cassville, all at 45. Where we are right now. And we do have a slight breeze, so for some of us, especially our northern counties, it does feel a little cooler. You can see it feels like 39 Stockton, 37 in Greenfield with this breeze, and the winds will begin to increase, but even then, just compared to 24 hours ago, we are upwards of, look at Iola, almost 30 degrees warmer now than where we were this time yesterday. So another very warm temperature day, and these temperatures will continue to climb through the week. In fact, we're going to be flirting with record highs as we get close to Christmas, which is just kind of crazy. All right, so again, cloudy skies to start. South winds will increase. Eventually, clouds will begin to clear out by the afternoon and into the evening hours, and we should have clear skies until the late evening when we'll see clouds return a bit overnight. Could get some patchy fog tonight into tomorrow morning as well. We'll go about 50 by 9. We're looking at highs into the upper 50s and low 60s today, and those south winds 10 to 15, gusting upwards of 30. So do keep that in mind if you're traveling. Maybe you're taking the boat, the RV, whatever it may be, or if you're just driving a high-profile vehicle, it's going to be quite breezy today. Winds will continue through the night tonight. Our temperatures, as I mentioned, will be flirting with record highs as we get closer to Christmas. We'll take a look at the forecast for the next several days, including the holiday, here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Dispatch audio revealed a vehicle struck a squad car at 100 miles per hour early Sunday morning. The incident began when Fairmont City Police tried to stop 29-year-old Precious Black from a traffic stop for a traffic violation. Officers say the driver dragged an officer a short distance while fleeing, leading to a pursuit from Illinois into Missouri. The chase ended in a crash on westbound I-70 at Cary near West Florissant. The officer was hospitalized and is expected to recover, but the driver died at the scene. This marks the second fatal police chase from Illinois into St. Louis this year, and the fifth fatal pursuit investigated by St. Louis Metropolitan Police in 2025. Detectives are reviewing dash cam and body cam video as part of the ongoing investigation. A Manette woman suffered a fatal gunshot wound in the parking lot of an apartment complex on Fairway Avenue. The shooter, a 33-year-old man, was barricaded in a nearby residence with their 3-month-old child. The incident happened on Saturday afternoon after a domestic dispute inside of their vehicle. The shooter surrendered to the police and is being held without bond in the Berry County Jail. Well, the National Transportation Safety Board is investigating a fatal crash in Statesville, North Carolina, where a private jet carrying former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle and 6 others crashed shortly after takeoff. Biffle, his wife Christina, and their children, Ryder and Emma, and 3 others, including Dennis Dutton, his son Jack, and NASCAR community member Greg Wadsworth, died in the crash. The Cessna C500 crashed while returning to land after departing Statesville Regional Airport. Weather conditions at the time are under review, and the NTSB is working to confirm who was piloting the aircraft. The airport remains closed, and the investigation is ongoing. Well, sources say the U.S. Coast Guard, with help from the military, carried out the operation in international waters. It marks the second U.S. interdiction of a vessel near Venezuela in the past 2 weeks. Earlier this month, the U.S. seized an oil tanker called the Skipper over its ties to Iran, though officials say the vessel seized Saturday was not under sanctions. The move comes as the Trump administration increases pressure on Venezuela, days after designating Nicolas Maduro's government a foreign terrorist organization. One arson suspect is arrested after a downtown Joplin apartment fire. Crews responded to the fire just before 4:45 Friday morning at the Zane Apartments on Wall Street. Responders searched the top floor for the source of smoke in the 6-story building. Authorities managed to get residents out of the building. Police and fire investigators determined arson to be the cause of the fire. Authorities have since arrested this woman, 54-year-old Jody Reagan of Joplin. She has officially been charged with first-degree arson. Reagan is currently in the Joplin City Jail. Well, our stories are often discovered by you, our viewers. We invite you to share your news tips with us. Scan the QR code and you'll be taken to a form where you can submit a tip quickly and easily. Thank you for being a part of the story. Well, dispensaries in Missouri say the reclassification of cannabis could lead to cheaper prices. President Donald Trump signed an executive order last week that will change marijuana from a Schedule I to a Schedule III drug. John Kipper spoke with an industry leader.
This is probably the biggest thing that's happened in the industry.
Co-founder and CEO of Beleaf Medical Company, Kevin Riggs, says his industry has waited 10 years for the decision President Donald Trump made Thursday. We're going to speed up the effort to declassify marijuana from a Schedule I drug, the harshest classification, to a Schedule III.
It has been a unique challenge.
In an Oval Office ceremony, President Trump signed an executive order that takes weed out of the same category as drugs like heroin. While not legalizing pot federally, it will allow for more research and also help dispensary owners in a variety of ways.
We will be able to pass along in pretty substantial amounts of savings to the customers and the patients in the state of Missouri.
While they're waiting for full details, Riggs, who owns 12 Suede cannabis dispensaries across the state, is optimistic the industry will be able to lower prices for customers. Right now, due to federal regulations, they're unable to do regular business tax deductions. Plus, they're forced to pay higher interest rates as the big banks refuse to do business with cannabis companies.
Cannot touch us. They can't even hold our bank accounts.
He's optimistic that with the stroke of the president's pen, they'll be able to operate like a regular business soon. And already, recreational marijuana has made an impact in Missouri. Since legalized in February of 2023, the state has seen over $4 billion in recreational sales, sending tens of millions to veterans groups. St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and St. Charles County raised a combined $4 million plus this year. On the Illinois side, they raised over $2 billion in 2024.
Be able to help offset police and fire and all these kind of things.
But in Washington, there is still a partisan back and forth with Democrats uniquely applauding a decision by President Trump
to move away from the failed war on drugs, which includes a failed war on marijuana.
While some Senate Republicans, not so sure.
Yeah, I think it's a dangerous drug, and I'm not so sure that's a good decision, but we'll see how it plays out.
Riggs says he hopes the industry in the state will next work on preventing the sale of intoxicating hemp products that have almost no regulations. Well, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The Trump administration faces scrutiny over missing Jeffrey Epstein files, including one with a photo of the president. Plus, Parsons officers chase down the Grinch at Ace Hardware after he breaks into the cherry on top ice cream store. And heating up in the 4 states, Chris has a look at your weekly forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, the Department of Justice is under scrutiny this weekend over its handling of the release of files related to convicted sex felon Jeffrey Epstein. CBS News found at least 15 documents uploaded to the DOJ website on Friday were taken down by Saturday, and hundreds of pages were redacted, prompting some lawmakers and Epstein survivors to demand answers. CBS News' Chanel Call has more.
The Trump administration remains under scrutiny over the Justice Department's handling of the release of files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Among the thousands of documents initially released for Friday's deadline, CBS News determined at least 15 files were no longer available on the DOJ's website Saturday, including a file with a photo of President Trump that was put back up on the site Sunday. More than 500 pages were fully redacted, and lawmakers who push for this public release are slamming the DOJ.
We want the files out. There's a pretty simple point. Who raped these young girls? Who covered it up? And why are they getting away with it? The quickest way, and I think most expeditious way to get justice for these victims is to bring inherent contempt against Pam Bondi. And that doesn't require going through the courts.
Speaking on NBC's Meet the Press, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said the removal of the files from the DOJ's initial release has nothing to do with President Trump.
The reason why we are still reviewing documents and still continuing our process is simply that, to protect victims.
Among the files made public in recent days, more photos related to former President Bill Clinton and Britain's former Prince Andrew. Epstein survivors say they want the names of those who preyed upon underage girls to be released.
Are we protecting the survivors, or are we protecting these elite men that need to be put out there?
On social media Sunday, the Attorney General reaffirmed the Justice Department's commitment to bringing charges against anyone involved in the trafficking and exploitation of Epstein's victims. Chanel Call, CBS News, New York.
In other political news, a new CBS News poll published this weekend finds that many Americans are concerned about the state of the economy, with fewer than 1 in 5 of those surveyed reporting President Trump's economic policies made them financially better in 2025. Well, still to come, fewer than 30% of Americans now rate their mental health as excellent for the first time ever. Plus, heating up in the 4 states, Chris has a look at your Monday forecast. Parsons, Kansas police apprehend a suspect accused of multiple charges, including mischief, destruction of dessert property, and illegal taste testing. KOAM's Mitch Adams spoke with the police department to bring us more about the Christmas criminal.
In Parsons, Kansas, police served justice in a case of Christmas chaos occurring around the city. Officers arrested the suspect, identified as the Grinch, for breaking into a local ice cream store to sample different flavors.
We dealt with him at our new ice cream store here in town. It's called the Cherry on Top. He broke in, taste tested all of the snacks, all of the ice cream, and then they made their own Grinch flavor with his help, it sounds like, too.
Witnesses spotted the Christmas criminal in different locations around Parsons, including the movie theater and Ace Hardware, before police apprehended him.
We got a warrant for him, and we ended up taking him into custody. We chased him at Ace Hardware, just here across the alley.
However, in the spirit of the holidays, authorities released the Grinch from jail on bond and required him to complete community service.
We think that being able to do the community service and learn how to make his heart 2 sizes bigger like everybody else's during the holiday season, that'll help him learn some consequences.
Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The bond posted for the Grinch's release was $1,000, with the money going towards Parsons' Shop with a Cop program to buy presents for area children. And now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got those cloudy skies to start our Monday morning. However, they'll begin to clear into the afternoon and evening, and we are going to start the big warming trend under some gusty winds. We'll have a full look at your forecast when we come back. Time now is 5:19. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:22 now on this Monday morning, starting with our future track, where again we've got cloudy skies to start the day. However, as we head into the afternoon and evening, those skies will begin to clear, and by late this evening, we should have clear skies across the area. We'll start to go partly cloudy overnight tonight, and then very late tonight, early tomorrow morning, could get some patchy fog out there. So do keep that in mind if you're traveling. Again, if you're traveling locally, some fog could be the concern we have as we start our Tuesday. Now, I know the future track is showing these little sprinkles on Tuesday, not looking likely. Skies should begin to clear pretty early in the day, and we'll start to go partly cloudy as we go through the rest of the day on our Tuesday. The good news is while we'll be breezy today and tonight, those winds should ease up for us as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, we're looking at, again, some mostly cloudy skies, maybe some partly cloudy skies here and there. Winds could start to gradually increase, and as we head into to Christmas, almost said Thanksgiving, into Christmas, those winds will begin to increase, and our temperatures will continue to remain well above average. So for the morning, we've got the cloudy skies. We're going to be in the upper 40s to start, right around the mid 50s by 11 a.m. And again, depending on where you are, clouds may clear a little faster than other locations, but eventually we'll have those skies clear. And our highs today, upper 50s and low 60s, again with south winds 10 to 15, occasionally gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. Now into the evening, we should have clear to mostly clear skies. Temperatures do kind of like they did Friday evening. They'll kind of level out a bit before eventually dropping into the low 50s. Those south winds, that is a typo. It's supposed to be 25. That'll be 10 to 15, gusting to 25, not 35. I thought I changed that. I obviously did not. I'll get it fixed for you. As for Christmas Day, this is where we stand right now. We're looking at a high of about 74 degrees. And we'll have partly cloudy skies looking to be breezy, 62 by 9, near 70 by noon, and still pretty mild as we head into the late evening hours on Christmas Eve itself. If you're traveling, if maybe you are traveling outside the area, haven't left just yet, we've got, of course, the atmospheric rivers out west, which has been bringing showers, even some thunderstorms to California. We've got some showers up into the Pacific Northwest. Take a look at Phoenix, sitting at 81 today, 77 El Paso, of course, 80 in Miami. Then as we go up north, colder. International Falls only 25. Montreal is at 20. So up into the New England states, they're actually looking at some snow concerns. Now, if you're traveling locally, as we mentioned last week, the one advantage to the warm weather is there's really not much to worry about in terms of road conditions. So if you're staying in the region, got upper 50s up north around Omaha, mid 50s over into St. Louis, and then take a look a little further south and west, 70 today in Oklahoma City. And really, that shouldn't, I'm going to go back to bed and try this day again tomorrow. That should be the Christmas travel delays. This is, of course, for today, heading into tomorrow and Wednesday. As I was talking about that system up into the New England states, that's really going to be the main thing. Plus the showers and thunderstorms along California coast. So really far east, far west, that's where we've got the issues with main travel concerns. But here locally, we're good to go. Yeah, look at that. Upper 70s. I'm going to go back to bed. Low 70s on Tuesday, mid 70s Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Santa will have to leave his coat behind when he gets to the 4 states, as we're going to be fairly mild. Staying mild into the weekend until we get to Sunday. Temperatures fall back still above average, but at least in the low to mid 50s. And we've got some shower chances we're watching as we head from Sunday through Wednesday of next week. That's a check of your forecast. I'm going to go find the nearest cot and take a nap, and we're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, the mental health of many Americans remains a major challenge. A new West Health Gallup poll shows Americans are feeling worse about their mental health. For the first time, fewer than 30% of adults say their mental health is excellent, a 13-point drop over the past 6 years. Researchers say the COVID-19 pandemic appears to be a major turning point. Before the pandemic, mental health ratings were stable, with about 42% of Americans rating their mental health as excellent. That number dropped sharply in 2020 and has continued to decline. Well, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has expanded a nationwide recall of Reboost nasal spray to include Clear Life Allergy nasal spray. The products, made by Medinatura, New Mexico, may contain yeast, mold, and other microbial contamination above safe levels. The FDA warns exposure could cause serious infections, especially for immunocompromised individuals. The recalled sprays come in 20 milliliter bottles with expiration dates from December 2022 through December of this year, and were sold online and at retail stores. So far, no illnesses have been reported. Well, the American Academy of Pediatrics is losing millions in funding for grants that federal officials say don't align with the Trump administration's priorities. Wednesday, the Department of Health and Human Services announced it has terminated several grants to the AAP. The organization represents 67,000 U.S. pediatricians. Officials say they learned about the grant terminations this week, which will impact funding to programs dedicated to reducing sudden infant death, rural access to health care, and early identification of autism. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:22 now on this Monday morning, starting with our future track, where again we've got cloudy skies to start the day. However, as we head into the afternoon and evening, those skies will begin to clear, and by late this evening we should have clear skies across the area. We'll start to go partly cloudy overnight tonight, and then very late tonight, early tomorrow morning, could get some patchy fog out there. So do keep that in mind if you're traveling. Again, if you're traveling locally, some fog could be the concern we have as we start our Tuesday. Now, I know the future track is showing these little sprinkles on Tuesday, not looking likely. Skies should begin to clear pretty early in the day, and we'll start to go partly cloudy as we go through the rest of the day on our Tuesday. The good news is while we'll be breezy today and tonight, those winds should ease up for us as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, we're looking at, again, some mostly cloudy skies, maybe some partly cloudy skies here and there. Winds could start to gradually increase, and as we head into to Christmas, almost said Thanksgiving, into Christmas, those winds will begin to increase, and our temperatures will continue to remain well above average. So for the morning, we've got the cloudy skies. We're going to be in the upper 40s to start, right around the mid 50s by 11 a.m. And again, depending on where you are, clouds may clear a little faster than other locations, but eventually we'll have those skies clear. And our highs today, upper 50s and low 60s. Again, with south winds 10 to 15, occasionally gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. Now into the evening, we should have clear to mostly clear skies. Temperatures do kind of like they did Friday evening. They'll kind of level out a bit before eventually dropping into the low 50s. Those south winds, that is a typo. It's supposed to be 25. They'll be 10 to 15, gusting to 25, not 35. I thought I changed that. I obviously did not. I'll get it fixed for you. As for Christmas Day, this is where we stand right now. We're looking at a high of about 74 degrees. And we'll have partly cloudy skies, looking to be breezy, 62 by 9, near 70 by noon, and still pretty mild as we head into the late evening hours on Christmas Eve itself. If you're traveling, if maybe you are traveling outside the area, haven't left just yet, we've got, of course, the atmospheric rivers out west, which has been bringing showers, even some thunderstorms to California. We've got some showers up into the Pacific Northwest. Take a look at Phoenix, sitting at 81 today, 77 El Paso, of course 80 in Miami. Then as we go up north, colder. International Falls only 25. Montreal is at 20. So up into the New England states, they're actually looking at some snow concerns. Now, if you're traveling locally, as we mentioned last week, the one advantage to the warm weather is there's really not much to worry about in terms of road conditions. So if you're staying in the region, got upper 50s up north around Omaha, mid 50s over into St. Louis, and then take a look a little further south and west, 70 today in Oklahoma City. And really, that shouldn't, I'm going to go back to bed and try this day again tomorrow. That should be the Christmas travel delays. This is, of course, for today heading into tomorrow and Wednesday. As I was talking about that system up into the New England states, that's really going to be the main thing. Plus the showers and thunderstorms along California coast. So really far east, far west, that's where we've got the issues with main travel concerns. But here locally, we're good to go. Yeah, look at that. Upper 70s. I'm going to go back to bed. Low 70s on Tuesday, mid 70s Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Santa will have to leave his coat behind when he gets to the 4 states, as we're going to be fairly mild. Staying mild into the weekend until we get to Sunday. Temperatures fall back still above average, but at least in the low to mid 50s. And we've got some shower chances we're watching as we head from Sunday through Wednesday of next week. That's a check of your forecast. I'm going to go find the nearest cot and take a nap, and we're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, the mental health of many Americans remains a major challenge. A new West Health Gallup poll shows Americans are feeling worse about their mental health. For the first time, fewer than 30% of adults say their mental health is excellent, a 13-point drop over the past 6 years. Researchers say the COVID-19 pandemic appears to be a major turning point. Before the pandemic, mental health ratings were stable, with about 42% of Americans rating their mental health as excellent. That number dropped sharply in 2020 and has continued to decline. Well, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has expanded a nationwide recall of Reboost nasal spray to include Clear Life Allergy nasal spray. The products, made by Medinatura, New Mexico, may contain yeast, mold, and other microbial contamination above safe levels. The FDA warns exposure could cause serious infections, especially for immunocompromised individuals. The recalled sprays come in 20 milliliter bottles with expiration dates from December 2022 through December of this year, and were sold online and at retail stores. So far, no illnesses have been reported. Well, the American Academy of Pediatrics is losing millions in funding for grants that federal officials say don't align with the Trump administration's priorities. Wednesday, the Department of Health and Human Services announced it has terminated several grants to the AAP. The organization represents 67,000 U.S. pediatricians. Officials say they learned about the grant terminations this week, which will impact funding to programs dedicated to reducing sudden infant death, rural access to health care, and early identification of autism. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back.
Judy never misses a beat.
This is my playpen.
I get that, Your Honor.
Perfect.
Next is mental anguish.
Yours or mine? It's getting bad for you.
I don't understand why you're so upset with me.
Does this face look stupid to you? Am I doing all right?
Excellent.
That's what I like to hear.
Judge Judy.
Weekday mornings at 9 on KOAM TV.
To some people, the word Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. At Mueller Insurance, we understand that. Our job is to make your Medicare as smooth as possible, while understanding it's not a one-size-shoe-fits-all decision. We help all of the 4-state area at no additional cost. Hi, I'm Nathan Mueller, the owner of Mueller Insurance. If you're already on Medicare or starting Medicare soon and you're just looking for some local help, go ahead and give us a call or swing on by the office here on 32nd Street. Let us do the hard part.
When you think winter, think windows. Those leaky old windows are costing you money and making you uncomfortable in your own home. You need new windows, and we need to have steady work all winter, so let's make a deal. If you book your window project now, we'll install it this winter, and you save a massive $300 off per window. You're helping us stay busy in slow season, and we're providing you with the exclusive advanced polymer composite windows everybody's raving about. Click.
Get the gift they really want at Millie's Fine Furnishings. Shop daily specials for every room in the house, including mattresses for better sleep. Focus on home this holiday with something from Millie's in downtown Parsons and Miami.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours.
Our food pantries are facing an urgent need, so Fox 14 and KOAM are teaming up with Extreme Power Sports Auto Center in Webb City to stuff the truck. And you can help. Just drop off your food donations and you'll assist families facing crisis. Thank you.
The Downtown Pittsburgh Camera is sponsored by Pittsburgh State University and the City of Pittsburgh.
Right now at 5:30, a massive surprise turns an entire elementary school into a Christmas wonderland.
And it's not going to feel like a Christmas wonderland this week as temperatures climb. Starting today, we got some clouds, we got some wind. We'll talk about that coming up.
Plus, Joplin's Empire Market is spreading holiday cheer with local crafts, treats, and gifts.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Samantha Walker.
Hello, Chris Warner. Power nap. It is December the 22nd. It's Monday, so I think I've got everything fixed. I didn't think I had anything wrong in those graphics today, but I was obviously incorrect.
You know, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people at home who are going to be feeling that way because not only is it a Monday, but it's a Monday before a short week for a major holiday.
Yes.
So like everything's hitting.
It certainly is. And what hasn't hit yet is I traditionally share this is the Yule cat. It's an Icelandic lore, so I've shared it before. But for those of you who don't know, the Yule cat back in the day was a thing to get farmers to harvest cotton very quickly. But these days it's used mainly for kids, not just for kids, but mainly for kids. The Yule cat, according to the legend, will eat anybody who does not get new clothes for Christmas. The Yule cat, from the depictions, it looks like a house cat, but the size of Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yes.
And if you don't get new clothes on Christmas, then the Yule cat pays you a visit that night. So if you want to keep the Yule cat away, hopefully you get some new clothing for Christmas.
I'm trying to convince Chris that my cat should be the Yule cat because I have a Norwegian forest cat at home who's massive.
Well, see?
And I feel like fits the description except he's not
Does he ever go missing
Clifford.
on Christmas Day?
You know, he disappears in our house. I don't know where he goes.
Well,
so maybe.
Hopefully the Yule cat doesn't pay you a visit this holiday season. I love it. I don't even know how I learned about it, but it just cracks me up.
Can you just imagine just like you look out your window and there's a cliff?
There it is, right.
It's the Yule cat.
Good. And what else is not good is our temperatures. Like I said, I don't like the cold. I know a lot of people don't like the freezing cold, but it's Christmas. It's supposed to get a little chilly at least, and it's not going to do that at all. And today starts the big warm-up we've got over the next several days. Let's take a look outside from downtown Pittsburgh. And it's not Christmas Day, so we aren't going to see the Yule cat. And if I understand the legend right, he'll show up at like Christmas Day night. So you have time to open your presents, and if you didn't have clothes, and you better lock the door because the Yule cat will be coming for you. We have cloudy skies out there, and that's what we're seeing from a number of the different cameras out there. Of course, KDOT camera 69-400, still looking along 171. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline looks good. Again, cloudy skies. We are dry across the region as well. Remember, our average highs are about here. All right, we're already there. So we're 48 in Joplin and Pittsburgh, and across the region, we've even got some low 50s in some cases. Grove and Jay still there now, the warmer spots at 53 apiece. Cassville, though, the colder spot at 43, but most of us sitting in the mid to upper 40s, and again, a little further south and west, we get some low 50s out there. There's a light breeze, so for some of us, it does feel a little cooler. We've got some 39s in Stockton, Greenfield, and Monette. The winds, though, will increase as we head through the morning and into the afternoon. And take a look at our temperatures compared to, again, this is 24. So each time you see this, it updates consistently. 24 hours ago at this same time, we were 20 degrees cooler in some locations. So we are much warmer already, and that trend will continue over the next several days. The cloudy skies eventually clearing out as we head into the afternoon and into the evening hours. We should have clear skies by this evening, and then clouds return overnight. We'll go partly cloudy. Could get some patchy fog out there late tonight into early tomorrow morning, so keep that in mind. Going about 50 by 9, highs today, upper 50s, low 60s, and those south winds 10 to 15, gusting upwards of 30, so do keep that in mind as well with those gusty winds. Those gusty winds bringing in the warmer air, and we could be flirting with some record highs as we head through this week into Christmas. We're going to break down the details for you here in just a few more minutes.
Chris, thanks. The Southeast Kansas Humane Society held a free microchip clinic to help pet owners protect their dogs and cats. Microchipping, which can cost around $65, was offered at no cost, helping to ensure lost pets can be reunited with their families if found and scanned at a vet or shelter. Well, every child at a Missouri elementary school will have a Christmas gift this year, all thanks to the generosity of one man. Mike Bush explains what led to the compassionate gesture.
Some surprises don't come quietly. They arrive all at once. At Murphy Elementary School in High Ridge, Missouri, that surprise took over the entire building. Hallways, and especially the gym, transformed from ceiling to floor into a Christmas wonderland. The results of months of planning by teachers, staff, and volunteers, all working together to give their students something unforgettable. Every student from early childhood through 5th grade walking into a moment built just for them.
That we were able to go out and buy each and every one of you a Christmas gift.
And we're not just telling you that we love you, we are showing you that we love you.
Would you help Sama get a TV?
The day was made possible by Ricky Whittington, a St. Louis philanthropist who runs the R. Whittington Foundation, working alongside the school to make sure no child was left out.
We are taking care of over 447 kids. The whole entire school will be blessed with toys today.
He doesn't see it as charity, he sees it as a choice, a chance to turn painful memory into Christmas magic.
I was a kid that never got a Christmas gift. I was a kid that never had a bed. I was a kid that never had a bedroom. I was a kid that slept on the floor.
A childhood without, now fueling a lifetime of giving.
I got surround sound headphones. I got a telescope, a Lego car.
For many of these kids, Christmas would have looked far different if not for this day.
See, you got a TV too?
And the impact will last long after the wrapping paper is gone.
We wanted our students to feel the magic of Christmas, and we want them to know that they are loved.
A reflection of what happens when generosity meets compassion.
I got a hoverboard because of this wonderful person that made all this for us.
Ricky hopes the message goes beyond toys.
Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Someone sees you, someone loves you. So just keep moving forward.
To the students at Murphy Elementary, there were 2 Santas on this day.
He is a blessing to not only Murphy School, but all of St. Louis and the surrounding area.
A Christmas surprise that didn't just arrive all at once. It lingered, reminding every child they matter.
The Empire Market in Joplin is giving folks a chance to buy their handmade Christmas gifts by hosting their Christmas market. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more.
All kinds of holiday treats ready for stocking stuffers. We're just so excited for the holidays.
Just in time for Christmas, the Empire Market in Joplin hosts their Christmas-themed market. The market hosts over 50 vendors selling handmade crafts, homegrown produce, and more.
This time of year is really the highlight of the artisan quality and crafts that we have available to make great Christmas gifts. So coordinating that, they just let us know they want to be here, and we work with them to get an application approved. Everything is online through our website at JoplinEmpireMarket.com.
Hosting these events on weekends is also a way to help small business owners, artists, and food vendors establish themselves and keep money local.
When you are purchasing a locally crafted or locally sourced food, you're keeping income in our families within our neighborhoods and our local community. And so you're helping one another out. And so that, to me, is the spirit of giving.
In Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Well, Empire Market will host a last-minute shoppers event called Tinsel and Tidings on Christmas Eve from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Jobs most exposed to AI, automation are actually growing faster than other occupations, according to new Vanguard research. Plus, Americans aren't letting economic uncertainty stop holiday travel as AAA forecasts another record season. You will have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, many workers fear artificial intelligence is coming for their jobs. Yet new research finds the opposite is true, at least for now. Jobs most exposed to AI automation are actually growing faster than other occupations. According to a new analysis from Vanguard, the study looked at about 140 roles considered most vulnerable to AI, including office and law clerks, HR assistants, and data scientists. While some companies say AI is replacing or streamlining entry-level entry-level tasks, Vanguard found no signs of widespread job losses. In fact, employment in high AI-exposed roles rose slightly over the past 2 years, while job growth slowed in other occupations. Well, surveys indicate Americans don't feel great about the overall economy right now, but it won't stop them from hitting the road for the holidays. Multiple forecasts see record numbers of holiday travelers. Karen Kafa is in Washington with a look at which costs are up and down.
More travelers, more airplane seats, higher airfares, and lower gas prices. It all adds up to another 2025 travel boom.
Americans aren't letting economic uneasiness stop them from hitting the roads, the rails, and the airports for the holidays.
The uncertain economy is certainly not stopping them from holiday travel. This is yet another record season.
AAA forecasts 122.4 million U.S. travelers will take a trip at least 50 miles from home during the end-of-year holiday travel period. That's up 2.2% from 2024. About 90% of holiday travelers, AAA says, will go by car, with the national average for a gallon of gas sitting below $3 thanks to crude oil prices down 20% from this time last year. In the skies, industry trade group Airlines for America anticipates domestic airlines will carry 52.6 million passengers between December 19th and January 5th, up 1.5% over 2024. Expedia's Melanie Fish says passengers who want to travel with minimal crowds should avoid the highest volume days.
The busiest day for air travel is shaping up to be that Saturday right before Christmas. And then the second busiest day is shaping up to be the 26th, the day right after Christmas.
Airlines for America predicts U.S. airlines will add 72,000 seats each day of the holiday stretch. Sarah Kopit, editor-in-chief for travel news site Skift, says airlines have prepared for the rush as best they can, even as the nation grapples with an ongoing air traffic controller shortage.
The airports and the airlines, they are confident that this season they'll be able to handle anyone who wants to come out and fly.
And for those who delayed booking their holiday flights, Expedia's Melanie Fish tells me that there still are some seats available, but expect to pay for them. She also said that some last-minute routes may require multiple legs or layovers, so make sure that saving money is worth that extra time. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Well, that's it for Consumer Watch, and now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got those cloudy skies out there to start the day. Those skies will clear as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, and then eventually we'll warm up, and the warming trend continues. We'll talk more about that and have a look at the Christmas forecast when we come back.
If you're ordering more groceries online, you aren't alone. Details in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. A newly proposed merger between two railroads is getting reaction from farm country. The Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern Railroads have submitted a merger application to the Surface Transportation Board. Now, it would create America's first transcontinental railroad, covering 50,000 miles in 43 states. The companies say the merger will enhance competition in the freight industry and deliver public health benefits. Ag groups, including the Fertilizer Institute, say, hold on, it's hard for them to see how this improves competition and are asking for a careful review. The U.S. House is moving forward with a plan to delist the gray wolf from the Endangered Species Act. The chamber voting this week to pass the Pet and Livestock Protection Act, allowing state officials to manage gray wolf populations. Now, since being listed back in 1974, the gray wolf has seen populations exceed recovery goals by 300%. Ranchers are increasingly having issues with wolves killing livestock. The bill now heads to the Senate. And from brick meets click, U.S. online grocery sales continue to grow, topping $12.3 billion in November. That's up nearly 30% year over year. Experts say online grocery shopping is no longer just a secondary option for U.S. households. It is quickly becoming the primary method of shopping for many. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Now let's take it over to Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, and again, we've got cloudy skies to start our day, but those clouds will begin to dissipate as we head into the afternoon and evening hours before a few of them return overnight tonight into our Tuesday. So clear skies by later this evening, again into the early overnight hours, and then after about 2-3 a.m., we'll start to go partly cloudy, and then we'll start to have some potential for some fog around that same time, at least after midnight, heading closer to sunrise tomorrow. Once we get past that fog in the morning, skies will begin to clear. Again, I know a few trucks kind kind of showing some sprinkles and some clouds, not looking likely. We should actually have fewer clouds than that and remain partly cloudy. And winds, even though they'll be gusty today and tonight, should begin to die down as we head into our Tuesday as well. Now, as we go into Wednesday, heading into Christmas Eve, we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies. Southwest winds start to pick up a bit, and then we start to get really windy again as we head into Christmas Day, which will just kind of continue to help set the stage for these very above normal temperatures. And again, in some cases, we may be flirting with record highs as we get closer to Christmas, which is just kind of crazy to think about with how warm it's going to be. But we also are expected to remain dry. We don't have any reasonable rain chances until we head into next week when temperatures fall back a bit. They'll still be above normal, but they'll be a little cooler than where we're expected to be over the next several days. For today, though, again, starting with cloudy skies, upper 40s out there, eventually into the mid 50s by 11 o'clock this morning. And again, depending on where you are, skies may clear a little faster, but will eventually start to go partly cloudy rolling into the afternoon with temperatures today into the upper 50s and low 60s, and south winds 10 to 15 gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. We'll have clear to mostly clear skies again through the evening hours, and temperatures like they did on Friday start to level out a bit. They'll still fall a wee bit, but they'll level out for a while before we eventually get back into the low 50s tonight. South winds 10 to 15. I told you I'd fix these things. Gusting to 25 with partly cloudy skies. And again, after midnight, some patchy fog is possible. So again, for those of you, maybe you're traveling regionally, so you don't need to leave, several days in advance. If you're heading out early tomorrow morning, just bear in mind that we could be dealing with some foggy conditions out there. Now, as for Christmas itself, we're looking at highs approaching the mid 70s. We're going to be starting the day in the low 60s by 9, about 70 by noon. It's still pretty mild, near 70, as late as 6 in the evening. It's going to be breezy as well, and we should have partly cloudy skies. So do keep that in mind if you're traveling on Christmas Day. Again, if you are very hyper-local, like my family, we go visit my wife's family in Carthage. So obviously, we don't need to leave days in advance. We're leaving on Christmas Day, so keep in mind it's going to be quite breezy out there as we get the day underway. If you're traveling across the country, again, we've had that atmospheric river out west, so showers, thunderstorms, San Francisco to Los Angeles, a few showers up in the Pacific Northwest as well, where they've just been getting inundated with rain. Colder, of course, up north, International Falls, if you're looking for something more Christmas-like, at least temperature-wise, we're looking at mid-20s. If you want to see some snow, go into the New England states. Now, this is for today, but later this week, there's even some winter storm watches in parts of Maine, where they could get more than 6 inches of snow. If you don't like the cold weather, maybe the warm weather we're going to have isn't warm enough, you can head down south, desert Southwest, Phoenix, 81 today, upper 60s in Albuquerque, so not bad, upper 70s El Paso, of course warm across the Sunshine State, even with a cold front passing through. Now again, if you are also just traveling regionally, today we're looking pretty good, near 70 in Oklahoma City, a few more clouds down by Little Rock in low 60s, mid 50s out into towards St. Louis, and we'll go upper 50s to near 60 up toward Omaha. And in terms of the travel delays, and again, this is for today because this will update each day this week, but you can see off to our north and west initially across Idaho, Montana, California, and the Pacific Northwest, especially around Seattle. It's where we've got more of those issues. For us, in the middle of the country, not much. And then, as I mentioned, the snow and everything begins to set in. That's where we get to major travel issues heading into Maine. And again, they've got some winter storm watches up there as well for that snow potential. As for us, though, here's what we're looking at. Low to mid 70s starting tomorrow. And we'll continue with that into Christmas Day. Breezy out there. Overnight lows well above normal. Mild into the weekend. And then by Sunday, again, temperatures drop still above average. But we're looking at least some shower chances starting next Sunday, continuing through most of next week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this. All right, again, we've got the clouds to start our day, eventually clearing out for us. Upper 40s out there as we get the day started, and we'll make the mid-50s by 11 o'clock this morning. Temperatures today already above normal. In fact, our current temperatures right now are close to what our average high is supposed to be for this time of year. We're going to make the upper 50s, low 60s. Skies will clear heading into the afternoon and evening. South winds 10 to 15, gusting to 30. We'll have clear to mostly clear skies through the late evening hours. Temperatures kind of holding steady right around the mid-50s. 50s, eventually falling back to the low 50s tonight. South winds still gusting to 25 and will go partly cloudy. Could have some patchy fog building in after midnight. I think really after about 3 a.m. We'll be looking at that potential for some patchy fog out there for at least some of us. So do keep that in mind. So I'll start with some fog on Tuesday. We're warmer. Winds ease up south at 5 to 10, but our temperatures upper 60s, low 70s, low to mid 70s Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The winds are expected to return on Christmas Day, and of course overnight lows staying mild as well into the 60s. We stay warm until Saturday. Then temperatures fall back a little closer to normal, still above normal, but at least closer next week. Starting on Sunday, and we've got some off again, on again shower chances Sunday through next Wednesday. That's a check of your forecast. Another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.